Today I'm going to be sharing with you some code words that hikers used on the trail. So this is sort of an inside look as what it was like hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail. It'll be good to know these. My name is Samuel, and during the summer 2024, I set out to hike the Pacific Crest Trail by myself. The first one you should probably know is trail families. Trail families are groups you hike with on the Pacific Crest Trail. They're called trail families because basically you bond together and have a great time, and you're normally together for a while, normally the entire trail. You'll normally find each other within the first few weeks, but sometimes you could find them like halfway through your hike or near the end, but they're groups that are formed between people to hike with. Finding a trail family, you'll normally find other hikers you enjoy being around and enjoy being with, and normally they will have like the same schedule as you, and then you'll end up finding yourself hiking with them and having a great time. And it's just like a social aspect to the amazing parts of hiking on any through hike on a trail. Next one you might hear is cowboy camping. So this is basically camping without a tent. So this is when you just lay out your mat on the ground and sleep on top of your sleeping bag without a tent covering over you. You wouldn't do this if it was like raining or if there was a storm, but a lot of people like to do this to see the stars, and also because it's a really quick and easy way, so you don't have to spend time setting up your tent, and you don't have to like, take it down in the morning or pack it up. Some people actually hike the entire trail like this with just like a poncho in case there's a rainstorm that they can use to cover themselves. I wouldn't recommend that. It's a little bit more dangerous, but cowboy camping is basically camping without a tent. The next one you should know is Sobo and nobo, are words people use to say like southbound and northbound. These words are used to ask which direction you're hiking. So are you hiking from Mexico to Canada or Canada to Mexico, or whatever your trail is. They're used to figure out which direction you're hiking. Another one you might hear is cold soaking. Cold soaking is what people do if they don't bring a stove, or sometimes even if they do, but it's basically where you soak your food in water, just cold water without heating it up, and then you eat it. This is used by people who don't want to carry the extra few ounces or a pound or a few pounds to bring a stove along, so they just cold soak their food, like ramen and different foods like that, in a jar, and basically it's a lighter and slightly quicker way to make your food. Next one you might hear is trail names. Trail names are basically how you are identified on trail. These are has to be given by another hiker, which is basically the only rule of it. And they're a really fun way, and you basically have a new identity on trail, and it's just a fun aspect of the trail. My trail name was Simba, and here are a few other examples of trail names of people I met on the trail. Like Queen Bee, Tinker, Cecile, Hatchet, Salty Chef. These are normally given because of something you've done or you do or aspect you have. Like Hatchet, the guy brought an entire hatchet for half of the entire trail, which is awesome. And so that's how he got his trail name. Or Queen Bee, because she was saving bees from a swimming pool at a hotel one time. So that's how you develop your trail name. I developed my trail name because I'm young, blonde, and someday I'll be very strong. Simba is from The Lion King, and so that's how I developed my trail name. Okay, another word you might hear is dry pack weight. So this is your pack weight without food and water. So this is basically, if you didn't have any food and water in your pack, dry pack weight, that's what it means. People will use this to ask about the weight of your pack, like how much does your pack weigh? What items did you bring? So that's how that word is used. Another word you might hear is comfort items. These are items people bring for comfort, but they're not a necessity for hiking the trail. Hiking the trail, you want to keep your pack as light as possible, so you don't bring many items. So comfort items are things you might bring in addition to the necessities you bring. Comfort items are something you don't need, but you bring it to be more comfortable. Another word in that area of things is ultralight. Ultralight normally talks about a person with a pack weight under 10 pounds, which is pretty light, but it is definitely doable. Ultralight is basically a pack under 10 pounds, and you want to keep your pack relatively light around there. Maybe you don't have to go under 10 pounds, or maybe you do, which is great too, whatever you choose, but I would definitely recommend keeping your pack lighter. Last one you might hear is hiker hunger. This one is used talking about hikers and basically the food they eat. When you start out on trail, you don't normally eat much for the first few weeks, and then hiker hunger, or like craving of food, starts to kick in, and you start to eat as much as you can get your hands on. This is basically used to talk about, how hungry you are, and Okay, those are the top ones you'll hear on trail. There are probably many more that you might hear, but these are the top ones that you should know. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you want to hear about next. Thank you. Bye.